live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and today we've got some content to go over today. College football week 9 wrapped up, NFL week 8, one more game tonight, and then it'll be wrapped up in the books. We are nearing the halfway point of the season where we separate the contenders from the pretenders. We see now who has a legitimate shot to make a Super Bowl run, and those that will be kicking off to the side and being like, we're not even mentioning them anymore. And we have a few of those teams on their way there. Let's get into some update on the content for these next 2 weeks. So today's episode will go as scheduled. Thursday, same thing. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to have an episode. We're not going to do one Monday. We're going to keep one Tuesday because the NFL trade deadline will be finished at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, and we'll go break down the whole trade deadline. Obviously, if there's a lot of big moves and stuff, that's what the headline of the episode will be. It won't be your typical recaps and then analysis. I'm going to save that. We're going to do an analysis on the trade deadline because there will be some movement that I think teams could benefit from, and then some ways that some teams are kind of trying to build off of some of those trades. Like if you're a bad team trying to like sell off some guys and trying to build for draft capital in the future, we'll talk a little bit on that. We are looking to have a guest in studio, one of my friends that has been on Lounge Time. He did the preseason episode last year with us. I'm trying to get him on. I want to make sure we can finalize all that, but looking to have him on for the trade deadline recap and kind of our top 7 in the AFC, top 7 in the NFC, who's rising, who's falling, and then who can make those deep runs, possible dark horses. Just because you start off slow doesn't mean you're totally out. We've seen numerous times this happen. We're going to get into that all within the next week. So next Tuesday will be the episode. No episode Monday. It'll be Tuesday because we're following the trade deadline talk. And then Thursday we'll be back to the normal schedule programming because that will be the week 10 picks and all of that. So, let's get into the biggest story of the weekend, which starts in college football. Brian Kelly is gone at LSU. $54 million buyout. Am I surprised at this move based on what happened in LSU's recent game? Yes. I'm not surprised. I saw this coming. When the fans start turning on you, especially in Death Valley where it is a game that you have to win to save your season, you knew you were done. The fact that you got blown out in the third quarter alone told me, okay, he might be done. Like, I thought if it was close, he wouldn't be gone. But the fact you got blown out in the third quarter, and I turned the game off. I watched the game. I turned it off. I was like, it's over. And it's crazy because when we looked at week 1, we thought LSU was a championship contending team. I thought so included. And the fact that they dropped off so, I'm not even going to say like, precipitous. I'm not even going to say, you know the word I was going to say. It's a hard word for me to try to pronounce anyway. I have to work on that. But drastically. The fact that they fell off drastically, I'm going to use that word instead, is surprising because they spent so much money in the transfer portal. They were tired of being 9-3, 8-4. And nope, they're going to be the same record because Brian Kelly can't seem to be the coach that LSU expected him to be compared to the three other guys who all won an SEC championship and won a national championship. Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron. That's bad that Brian Kelly did neither of those things. So, yes, he got Jayden Daniels a Heisman Trophy, but they don't care about that. They care about national titles, playoff appearances at LSU. You did neither of those things. You are not going to finish in the top 12 now because you can't beat the teams that you have to beat. And you got smoked at home by Texas A&M, who was a good team. But in a game you have to win to show some fight. You didn't do that. Now, there were issues with Kelly before this that the LSU fans did not like. One of them, though, really sticks at a lot of LSU fans, and that was when Kelly fired longtime assistant Tommy Moffitt, who, for those of you that don't know, he was a longtime assistant for LSU, won 3 national titles with them. He was their offensive line coach, if I'm not mistaken, and he was a guy that was part of a big thing of culture. He was a big part of LSU's culture during those years. And guess where he is now? Texas A&M. And Texas A&M whooped you. And LSU fans, I think, never forgave Brian Kelly for that moment. Now, there's some other stories that have happened that have not looked good for him. He never fit. And I think that you could see that he's good at like a small up-and-coming team. A decent name. But remember why Brian Kelly took LSU to begin with. Because they didn't have enough resources to compete in the landscape of college football. You had all those at LSU, and you couldn't even win more than 9 games. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, they went to the playoff last year and made it to the national title against Ohio State. While you didn't go anywhere. That's bad. That's bad that you left Notre Dame for LSU and you couldn't do anything there. Now, and it's crazy for me because when I think of Brian Kelly now, I think of him as a good coach. He had an opportunity to be great. And he blew it. And honestly, he became unlikable so fast. I don't want to say that he has no shot of getting a Penn State job or a Florida job, but I don't know how he gets a big name job after flopping at LSU. He'll get a job, but I don't know if Florida or Penn State wants to take that gamble, knowing what Kelly messed up with at LSU. I don't know if they want to do that. He might fit a little bit better up at Penn State, but I don't think Penn State wants him compared to some other names. Now, again, this is a wild cycle. We saw coaches like Mike Gundy fired, Sam Pittman fired. Oak State's falling off. Arkansas is not a bad team. They got some money to play with, okay? We saw Penn State fire Franklin earlier in October. Then it was Billy Napier in Florida. And now LSU. And 2 teams, I'm telling you right now, you're going to keep a close eye on that are going to only add to this monster cycle of big job openings. I'm telling you right now, Lincoln Riley might be next. Because Lincoln Riley hasn't done anything at USC. And USC got recruiting power. They got money. And another one, you've never made a playoff there. You did it at Oklahoma, granted, but you left Oklahoma when it got bad, and shit, when you got to USC, you haven't got to where you should be there. And I don't think, frankly, you're going to get to the playoff because you don't have the wins that people go, yeah, that's a good win. You don't. So I look at that and I go, he's next. Now, another name that I think, if this continues to go really, really bad, he might get fired before Brian Kelly. That's Mike Norvell. And Mike Norvell, listen, he had a big win against Alabama. It has fallen really bad since they lost to Virginia. And they lost to Stanford. It's bad over there. Okay? Mike Norvell about to be done there. He might be gone next. That's how bad this is. Now, you're probably going to be asking me, Rich, is there any other big name coaches you expect to be gone outside of Florida State and USC? I doubt Auburn lets go of Hugh Freeze, but I've heard people say that he could be gone too, which wouldn't shock me. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of big jobs now. I'm telling you, I think you're going to see names like Lane Kiffin and Marcus Freeman be talked a lot over there. And then I think for these like schools that have fallen off a little bit, that are trying to get a big name to maybe salvage them, like a Florida State, like a Florida, like an Arkansas, they'll be good, but are they going to be national championship level good? I don't know. Some guys belong in schools that, to me, are good schools that could reach the national championship if you let their situation play out. But some guys are just meant for big jobs, and some guys are just meant for like good jobs that are not big jobs. And James Franklin fits in that category of, he'd be good at a Florida State, at an Arkansas, maybe Florida, but he's not Penn State. He's not LSU. And that might be the same for Brian Kelly. But a lot of big name jobs open. And I'm telling you, I'm very curious to see if Lane Kiffin or Marcus Freeman get poached by some of these big schools. Because LSU, Penn State, and Florida now are going to be some big offers. Now, USC is going to be another one, I think, if they fire Lincoln Riley. Auburn could open up. Florida State could open up. That is going to be crazy. That if those jobs open up, we're going to have some really, really interesting coaching carousel moments, because this is probably wide open as a head coaching cycle I can see. But LSU, they got to get this right. They tried Brian Kelly, it failed, but I think they'll be okay. There's a lot of good recruiting power over there at LSU. They've got money. You could win there. You could definitely win there. And you're right next to Texas, so you could definitely get some of those Texas kids over there and some of those, and you'll get transfer portal targets. You will. So that is the big thing for college football, big story. They are doing the playoff rankings. I believe it's tomorrow. I was wrong last week. It will be this tomorrow, the first playoff rankings. And now, when we look at the next couple of weeks, a month from now, we'll be kind of settling an idea of, okay, who are the locks for the top 12? And then, after that, it'll be championship weekend where those lock-in playoff berths will be settled. And then the bracket will be out. So we're close to a month of them revealing the final 12. Now, I did a bracket last year. I'll do one again this year. But let's get into the NFL, because there's some stuff I've got to get off my chest, both good and bad. First, I am happy my Patriots are winning. I am. 6-2. 5 straight wins. Drake Maye's an MVP candidacy. Now, I want to say one more thing. I'm not going to gloat about beating the Browns. It's nice that we're 6-2. It's great that we're the second seed in the AFC. But I just want to say this. You Mahomes bandwagons, you Chiefs bandwagons, you guys vaulted Mahomes at the top of the MVP ladder after beating a bad Ravens team. I'm going to go full delusional mode and say, you know what? Why should we not put Drake Maye up over him for MVP? Albeit he beat the Browns, but why? Why should he not be MVP? Oh, because Mahomes, he's won 3 Super Bowls. He's clearly the best quarterback in the league. Oh, don't give me that crap. That dude, we have to call the NFL the National Mahomes League because he gets everything he wants. The media says he can do no wrong. And you know what? Let's just bow down and give him the MVP. No. Not on this show, we're not. Nope. Although we agree that it is the National Mahomes League because unfortunately this guy gets everything he wants. On this show, hell no, he doesn't. No. Because Drake Maye should be MVP at this moment. Now you're like, Rich, you said Baker Mayfield last week. He flopped. I know he did. Because I went by resume. Now, you guys never heard me become delusional like Chiefs bandwagons. Like delusional Dallas Cowboy fans were. No. Now I'm going there because you know why? You guys remember when I said that I put $1.26 on Drake Maye to win MVP? It was before the Bills game. Specifically, I want to say it was close to, I wouldn't say 100 to 1 odds, but it was close. But I was like, if he wins, his odds go up. If he loses, his odds go down and he has no shot. Well, your boy got it right before the Bills game. Not knowing that, you know what? He could win it. It'd be nice. But at the time, I'm like, well, Josh Allen's probably going to win it. Mahomes didn't look good through 4 weeks. Although people vaulted him to number 1, and they still have. Jaden Daniels hurt. Lamar Jackson hurt. Jared Goff, little talk. But, Justin Herbert got a little bit. Now he's kind of dipped. Baker Mayfield was getting up there, but not the big stock. And then he kind of plummeted after the Lions game last Monday night. So I was like, you know what? And I judged the eye test pretty good. I was like, you know what? Vrabel's letting Drake Maye throw the ball more. He's got trust in Maye. He didn't look too bad against the Raiders outside of a bad second half. But it's week 1. Mahomes lost week 1. Oh, according to Scott Kaczmar, you're not allowed to be in the MVP conversation after you lose week 1. Well, Mahomes lost week 1, so he shouldn't be in the MVP talk. Delusional fuck. Yeah, I'm going there today. Because I'm in no mood to hear these delusional bandwagons get on my nerves. And you stupid fucks on Twitter. Now, we've got some fans on X. Alright? But some of them are just so fucking stupid. Lots like Scott Kaczmar. Just saying, okay? A lot of them are stupid. Now, you're probably like, oh, Rich, he did look pretty bad against the Steelers with the red zone pick. And I know. But, I mind you, he did have his plays against the Steelers that were pretty good. Now you're like, well, Rich, he beat Carolina and the Saints and the Browns. And those are not great wins. The Titans. See, if you guys want to vault fucking Mahomes because he beat a Lions injured secondary, why can't I do the same for Drake Maye? He won in Buffalo. Mahomes won at home against the Lions. You should win at home. You're at fucking Arrowhead. The kid won in Buffalo week 5. Hell, we're first place in the division. Did any of y'all have us first place in the division? I did not. Yours truly. But am I happy about it? Yes, sir, I am. So, if we're judging by the MVP right now, why can't Drake Maye be number 1? Because he beat the Browns. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to the National Mahomes League, the Mahomes media members, who can say he does no wrong. You know what I say? Kick fucking rocks. And I don't care, because in my mind, you ain't talking me out of this. I want to pound the table, but I have my camera standing here. I am pounding the table for Drake Maye to be the front runner for league MVP. Why? Because he's looked the part. He throws deep, and boy, I'm calling him Drake Dimes. Because apparently Danny Dimes' nickname is switched to Indiana Jones over in Indianapolis. So Drake Dimes says, nah, Mahomes, I'm fucking number one for league MVP. Oh, and guess who you bandwagons have the next 3 weeks? You have in Buffalo next week, which, by the way, I have to watch because I'm going to say something that Yoham's not going to like. I'm sorry, Yoham, but I have to fucking put my personal things at the forefront. New England could win the AFC East, damn it. I don't care about the bandwagons. The Broncos and Chargers are still winning. That's fine. If the Broncos and Chargers keep winning, they're going to be in trouble to get that last playoff spot. So that's fine, okay? Now, the bandwagons have at Buffalo, they have the Broncos, and they have the Colts. Now, in theory, he's probably going to win 2 of those 3. If he loses 2 of those 3, guess who's number 1? Drake Maye going to be number 1. So, I need to think this strategically here. Now, you guys are like, Rich, okay, here he goes again. I actually need you guys to beat the Bills. I'm actually rooting for you to beat the Bills. Even though I think your guy should not be MVP and that the National Mahomes media, the National Mahomes League, he can do no wrong. This guy does not play. Well, you know what? I'm willing to call an olive branch for a few weeks. You know why? Because I need you to beat the Bills on Sunday. And I might need you to beat the Colts depending on what happens in the Bills game. Because if the Colts and the Bills lose, 2 things could be true. New England Patriots could be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And we could win the AFC East over the Bills. And mind you, we haven't even made a trade deadline move yet, which I'm hoping this team does because there's no excuse. You have the most cap space in the league, and you have a quarterback on a rookie deal. Everybody knows you've got to maximize that window. So I expect them to make a move. But again, that's a separate conversation. But I'm saying this. If the Chiefs beat the Bills, the Patriots' chances of winning the AFC East improve. Now, if the Chiefs beat the Colts and the Bills, that means New England has a shot to be the 1 seed. Now, yes, they do. Now, I know Yoham's mad, and I know he's going to give me shit after the show's over. I need my own personal interest to be happy for the moment, okay? I have my fantasy football team. I don't give a shit about them anymore. They fucking sell me every week. Barely score 100 because everybody just decides when not to perform, okay? Now, Survivor pick, I'm going to get to in a second. But this is the one good thing right now that I have with this team is that they're doing well. The kids on the upswing as far as making progress. Now, my cousin's like, you need to take it easy on Drake, maybe the top 10 quarterback. Hell no with that shit. No, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. Because now, and I've given one of my friends a little shit already, and I'm going to give him a couple more. Not only am I going to say Drake Maye is going to be, my opinion, the league MVP frontrunner, I'm going to say it right now, and my cousin better be listening. My guy's the top 10 quarterback in the league right now. Right now. Now, everybody's going to be like, Rich, well, the season's incomplete. Yes, I know. But I have a very good feeling about what I'm seeing in this kid's development. And I have one more thing to throw the Chiefs bandwagons way. You bandwagons, I just posted a tweet not even 2 hours ago from one of your delusional fucking bandwagons, the wannabe fucking Dill. Lance the Spoken is saying, so according to NBC, the teams to beat in the AFC are the Colts, Patriots, and the Bills. All right, bet. Noted. Shut the fuck up. You pick one little thing. See, here we go again, guys. And I didn't want to rant about the bandwagons, but to be honest, there's not a lot of games I want to talk about today. There's not a lot. But you see what they're fucking doing already? They're trying to steer the narrative to go their way because they're going, well, we're 4-3, but we're not the top dog in the AFC. The Colts are 6-1. Why are they getting more attention? Because they're winning more games than you. They didn't start out 0-2 like you bandwagons did. They didn't start 2-3 like you bandwagons did. They've actually beat good teams. Their only loss is to the Rams. Why is New England getting more attention? They haven't beat anybody. Drake Maye's, in my opinion, playing better than Patrick Mahomes so far through 8 weeks. Yeah, I went there. Yeah. What? Chiefs bandwagons. What? You beat the Lions. That's your only good win. I got one in Buffalo. Oh, but you're ahead of them in the division. Therefore, it's not a good win. No. In Buffalo, that is a better win because Mahomes hosted the Lions in Arrowhead. No, I'm not going to go there. And the Lions were banged up in the secondary. Buffalo was too, Rich. No, because Buffalo was the class of the division since Brady walked out of New England. And this kid went into Buffalo on a game-winning drive and won. Isn't that what an MVP is supposed to do? I would say yes, it is. So, get out of here with that shit. Okay. Oh, but then why are the Bills getting more talk? Because you know why? Because the Bills are the closest team to beat you in the last playoff rounds the last couple of years. Granted, they haven't beat you in the playoffs, but they've been the team that's been the closest. And in my opinion, if I'm being totally honest, Denver should be getting more attention over you. Denver's won the same amount of games as we have. They have a fucking better stretch of wins, I would argue, than New England has, non-biasly. See, I'm not delusional like you are, but I can be. They won in Philly. Down 17-0. And they came back and beat them. That's a better win than you bandwagons have. Road wins, I think, mean more. So, I mean, yeah, they beat the Cowboys, and yeah, they struggled with the Giants until the fourth quarter. Still won. They beat the Jets, though, and I know they didn't look great. Still won, though. So, they beat the Chargers, and then if you think about it, they lost by one possession to... No, they didn't beat the Chargers. They lost to the Chargers and Colts by one possession. Game-winning field goal. You guys lost to the Eagles and the Chargers. Oh, but you're going to play Denver in a few weeks, so you're going to have to worry about them later. So, I will briefly call an olive branch on the Chiefs bandwagons because I need them to beat Buffalo next week in Buffalo. However, don't start changing that narrative. That, oh, see, we're being disrespected by the national media. Fuck yous. No, you're not. I said last week, the only two teams I'm legit scared of as a New England fan that I know we would lose to would be the Colts and would be the Chiefs. Why? Because I think they would lose. I think my Patriots would lose to them. Everybody else can be had. Now, right now, Denver and Buffalo might have a little more something to say because they've been balling out recently. Okay, actually, Buffalo lost 2 weeks before yesterday. But my point is this: you bandwagons better not fucking start changing no narrative because everybody I know fucking says you've got ESPN, you've got First Things First. Oh, you're head of the snake, Nick Wright. He fucking dropping banners after beating the fucking Ravens. And the fucking Giants. The tackle that turned the tide. Shut the fuck up. Because you lost the game after that. Did you know that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. You should destroy Washington today. You should. I'm not even watching the game tonight. I already made it clear. But to start already saying, oh, we're not getting the title of the team to beat because the Colts have won more games and the Bills and the Patriots, that's a joke. No. It's not, because you guys were shit through 5 weeks. And you beat up on bad teams, which you should do. But you've got one good win. Those other teams, now the Bills I know don't have the best wins, but they started out 4-0 before they lost to us. Technically, New England has a better win than you. Denver has a better win than you. The Colts have more wins better than you. And the Bills technically started out better than you. So, at this moment, I don't hate that. But don't start changing the narrative because everybody I fucking keep seeing says the Chiefs are the team to beat. The Chiefs are bad. You bandwagons keep talking smoke off your fucking noses and ass. Stop. Stop changing the narrative. you don't beat your fucking teams, yeah, then it's going to be warranted. And then everything's going to be fair. But just shut the fuck up because you're beating teams you're supposed to beat. You are still the favorite in the AFC. Shut up. These other teams are doing good because who expected the Colts to be 6-1? The Patriots to be 6-2? The Broncos at 5-2, I think we had a lot of people expect. But you're going to play them in a few weeks. You're going to be playing the Colts in a few weeks. And the Bills you're playing next week. So right then and there, you will get that title if you beat those teams. You should be Buffalo hopefully next week because I'm looking to hope that my New England Patriots are going to be first place in the AFC East. And get this, if you beat the Colts, that means you're going to get us closer to the 1 seed. So you see how my mind works? See, I outsmarted you fucks at your own game. It's my turn to be insufferable Chiefs bandwagons. And now it's starting to slowly slip away because you guys get on my damn nerves, but you're not going to ruin my high. Now it's my turn to be on my high, okay? Now, Johan's probably laughing for now. He's mad that I'm probably taking the Chiefs to beat the Bills. I need them to beat the Bills because I want my Patriots to win the division. And then I'll worry about the 1 seed, which I might need the Chiefs to beat the Colts, depending on what happens with the Bills. That will be TBD as it is, okay? Now, enough of these bandwagons. They're getting on my last damn nerves. I want to get into the Sunday night game between the Steelers and the Packers because I think right now it is fair to say that the Packers are back in the NFC. And you're probably like, Rich, well, Pittsburgh was up and they didn't really look good first half. Yeah, but when it came down to it, they lit up 21 points and hung it on the fucking Steelers in Pittsburgh on their ex-quarterback. That shit means something. Take a note, Chiefs bandwagons. Take a note. This is what a meaningful road win looks like. You've got none of that this year. And don't give me the Giants. Don't give me the 2 fucking garbage wins you've had against the Raiders and the Ravens at home. And the Lions, who were banged up, which that's not a garbage win. That's your only best win. But my point is, everybody that has a road win that I've said, and I'm including Green Bay, and there's a bunch of other teams I would say, they have better wins than you. Just saying, okay? So, you can argue with me till the cows come home. I don't care. This is my show, damn it. Jordan Love, boy, he made Pittsburgh's defense look like shit. Now, I do think this offense is starting to get back to what they were the first 2 weeks of the season. Because whatever happened in Cleveland during that 4-game stretch, they didn't really look great. But this game, I think, is a turning point for them because now they're like, okay, we've got our confidence back. We've got what we know we can be again. We can run the football with Josh Jacobs, but Jordan Love, we got young receivers. We got a tight end now in Tucker Kraft who has been balling for them, okay? He balled out this game. Jaden Reed, when he gets back, is going to be a great addition to this team. Now, Matthew Golden, you're on my fucking shit list because you put up fucking shit for me in fantasy. But he should be good for you when you actually use him. Oh, I forgot. You don't use him as a deep threat. You use him for fucking smoke screens. Please. Romeo Dobbs. We know that dude can ball, all right? So, Jordan Love, if he played like he did against the Steelers, Green Bay is going to be that team in the NFC I said at the beginning of the year. Could make an NFC Championship type run. Super Bowl type run. They look good. That defense, you saw Micah Parsons put up 3 sacks against the Cardinals, right? And you know it's not just Parsons. They got Devontae Wyatt, who's a stud in defensive tackle in the middle. You got Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary rotating on the other edge. You've got dudes now. Okay? They got dudes. Xavier McKinney at safety. Nate Hobbs, a good corner. Not big name, but he's good. All right? Nixon, more of a returner, but he can play a little corner here and there. Right? This Green Bay Packers team, they did a very good job on offense finding out how to open it up against the Steelers defense. Jordan Love, accurate, delivered it on time. He was on a roll, okay? Now, Emmanuel Wilson had more yards than Josh Jacobs, which is surprising, okay? Christian Watson came back. Remember when Christian Watson was really good with Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, he's still there. Malik Heath, again, they fucking throw their embarrassment of riches at wide receivers at you, and they're like, yep, here we go. Like I said, I mean, they made Aaron Rodgers look pretty all right. Now, Gary had 2 sacks. Parsons had 1. You could see Rodgers was frustrated all game long at night. All right? But I'm here to tell you right now, the Green Bay Packers are back in the NFC, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a scary sign because the NFC, and I was having this conversation with my old man during the weekend, last night. I said there's a clear-cut 7 best teams in the NFC. And you can argue with a wall. Packers are 1. You've got the Eagles in there. You've got the Tampa Bay Bucks in there. You've got the Lions in there. You've got the Rams in there, who I'm not ruling out, by the way. They're a good team over there, okay? And then you've got Seattle, who's quiet, who I'm going to see next Sunday night. I'm going to watch that game. And then you've got the 49ers, who Kyle Shanahan can coach his ass off, all right? Granted, through injuries, they are still a winning team. And I know they lost to the Texans. They're still a good team, all right? And then you've got your teams where you're like, yeah, but, and that's the Bears. You knew they were going to, like, have a letdown, and that was going to be with the Ravens, and I'm like, see, I knew this was going to happen. And Atlanta, I'm getting to you next. I'm getting into you next because you fucks pissed me off again, all right? I'll tell you why in a minute. And then I would put in that category along the lines of the Cowboys in there because I feel like their defense needs big pieces to make a run, which, Jerry Jones, you're a delusional fuck for thinking that it's one piece away. You had that piece. Your stubborn ass would never pay him. That's why you're a fucking average team. And I'm sorry. You ain't making no run with no defense. Did you watch the Bengals with Joe Burrow last year? Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Washington, if Jaden Daniels is healthy, I would put in that, yeah, but they need to get their secondary figured out. And Jaden Daniels needs to get healthy. And one of my buddies that's a Commanders fan, I'm trying to get him on for the trade deadline show. He'll tell you the same thing. But anyway, to the Steelers. Your schedule is about to get tougher. And that AFC North lead is starting to slip away. And I said that Cincinnati game, you had to have won that game. Because now what you're facing is, and here's your schedule coming up, and I'm going to read it to you because I have it right here in front of me. You play the Indianapolis Colts next Sunday. And the way your defense looked against Jordan Love, shit. I think Daniel Jones might hang 35-41 on you guys. That's how bad your defense is. And I said, see, I'm going to fucking bring up receipts because you know what? Rich is in the mood to start being villain arc and insufferable. I have my uncle on Lounge Simon. He tried to make his claim about, well, here's your surprise pick, Rich. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. He's watching. I send him every fucking episode. Do you see what I tried to fucking tell you about this defense? They're old, and I told you the fucking teams that are going to expose them know they ain't fast enough to compete. That defense ain't what you think it is. Jalen Ramsey is good, but he still gets spurt here and there. Joey Porter Jr., who I like, he gets flagged almost every time I watch him on the field. TJ Watt has been a shell of himself since the injuries. We know the dude can ball, but he's been a shell of himself with the injuries. And you gave him the bag, so now they're kind of fucked. Okay? Cam Hayward, he's old Iron Man, but he don't got much left. He don't got much left. Great player. Don't throw the Hall of Fame word around much often because he's very good. Not Hall of Famer, though. And I'm not disrespecting him. He's very good. Just not a Hall of Famer. He's on his last legs. He's just getting old. All right? So, this defense is very shaky. But let's continue their schedule. You have the Colts at home next Sunday. You have at Chargers on a Sunday night, who in their own right look shaky, but now against the Vikings, they got right. in a big spot. Now, Joe Alt came back. That's a big injury update for the Chargers. He's coming back, and he came back Thursday. That's a big sign. Then you play the Bengals at home. You already lost in Cincy. And Flacco already lit you up. So you should get right. In Chicago. Remember the last time you went into Chicago? Oh, the Jordan Howard game. Yeah, you should beat the Bears. Now, Ben Johnson might have another thing to say because he can run the ball with DeAndre Swift, and Caleb Williams could throw it, but not saying that'll happen, okay? You should beat the Bengals. The Bears, that's a game you could win, but on the road, you better get right for them. Bills at home? You're not going to win that one. You're not going to win that one. Oh, and then you play at Ravens. You own Lamar, yeah, but now they're getting healthy a little bit with Lamar coming back soon. And with Baltimore backed against the wall, well, you guys are slipping that lead with all these tough games. That game's going to mean something because the Ravens are clawing back. They're clawing back, and if they ever come back to win that division, Tomlin's seat going to be heating up like fucking, woo, like a fucking hot oven. Oh, boy. The Dolphins at home you should beat. In Lions. Not good. Not good. You see that offense? And that at Browns and home for the Ravens. That defense is not right. And they look old. They look unathletic out there. They don't have the guys that we thought they would have, with TJ Watt being the stud that he is. And Jalen Ramsey's good, but he gets beat. Joey Porter gets flagged every time. And then Cam Hayward's just old. He's good, but he's old. He don't got much left. When you have an old defense, you will get exposed. And that's what's going on. So, and then this offense, you gave DK Metcalf, and I want to make sure I got the numbers right on this. He had 22 receptions for the season going into this game. And he had 5 targets last night and a touchdown. This man has 27 catches through 7 weeks. Do you know how much an average of that is for the season? That's 4 catches for a number 1 receiver. What's up with that? Oh, no, because Arthur Smith doesn't want to change who he is. Running the ball and then throwing to tight ends. So then why the fuck did you pick up DK Metcalf if you're only giving him 4 catches a game? Roman Wilson had the same number of catches. Calvin Austin had the same number of catches. This is why I don't understand why you make certain pickups if you don't use them to what they should be. Aaron Rodgers has an arm still. Now, he don't want to fucking throw interceptions because that's just him protecting his passer rating and him not taking chances and stuff. But I'm sorry. I just... You guys got to open this thing up a little bit. And they won't. But this team's old. And they're the oldest team in the league. Them in Washington. But I'm sorry. I am not on this team at all for whatever reason. And their schedule's going to get tough. You had your chance to take the North where it was. And your schedule gets brutal. And I'm sorry. I think there's some serious glaring issues right now that they need to get fixed. Because this team currently constructed, they'll keep you afloat. They ain't going to make a playoff run. They're not. Because this team is old and they're on their last legs. And this is reminding me a little bit of the 22 Bucks when you get to good teams and they're like, okay, let's expose this fucking old team and just completely use our speed and athleticism just to absolutely embarrass them out of the waters. Green Bay in that fourth quarter, that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what Jordan Love did. And Tucker Kraft got behind the defense and was like, stop me. And the Steelers were like, nah, we're not scared of you. Bad problems. Imagine the Colts next week. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. Now, to the Atlanta Falcons. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it was a toss-up pick for me for Survivor between the Falcons and Eagles. Now, let me brief you basically on what happened. Now, my cousin and I, we usually have the same Survivor pick together. And I'm mad at myself for this. As soon as I found out Drake London was going to probably be inactive, I was like, fuck, I should have not locked in Atlanta yet. And I had a shot to go back and change it. And I went with my gut because I thought Miami, the smoke was very loud with them quitting on McDaniel and the guys being trade bait and Tua throwing him under the bus. Tua had a swollen eye in the game, and I was like, they should do this. But once I found out Drake London was out, I'm like, I should just go back to the Eagles. And I asked my cousin this. Should have did it. I didn't. And it bit me bad for this game. So, I'm taking the L on this. For that. However, Bijan Robinson. I'm not blaming you specifically for this loss. I'm not going to do that. The fact that you fumbled on the goal line for me, that hurt my fucking parlay. Not even parlay. That hurt my fantasy chances for the week. Now, I don't even give a fuck about my fantasy team anymore. I'm thinking about quitting. That's how bad it is. I don't even care no more. Because my team just decides to stop scoring. But you fumbled on the goal line. That was every chance the Falcons had at clawing back in that game, and you blew it. However, that's not where most of this blame's going today. No. The favorite new punch bag of the offensive coordinators in the NFL, Zach Robinson. I'm going back to you again. Because this fucking dude, I know they beat the Bills. I should be happy with them. Yes, I know. But you fucks couldn't beat the Dolphins with a swollen eye Tua and no Tyreek and no Darren Waller. You fucks couldn't beat the Dolphins with Kirk Cousins. And that motherfucker, he got the best agent as far as setting up highway robbery contracts. I don't know how he does it. He got the best agent of highway robbery contracts. Kirk Cousins, you fucking suck. You are the worst fucking quarterback that I have seen fall off drastically. The Giants really broke you so bad. You go to Atlanta and you look like shit now. I don't know how you do it, but you look awful. You look awful. The fact that you could not even score more than 10 lousy motherfucking points on the Dolphins, who are bottom 5 in every defensive category for the most part, is a shame on you. Because you basically robbed the Falcons. No wonder why they took Penix. Even though I don't think Penix is that much better than Kirk Cousins is right now. But you fucks scored 10 fucking points. Zach Robinson, you have Darnell Mooney. You have Kyle Pitts. You mean to tell me you can't fucking scheme away to get more points than that? Hell, this defense for Atlanta supposedly is top 10 in some categories. And you guys can't stop the Dolphins? Well, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Now, Raheem Morris, I remember him coaching Tampa. And I remember he had a good 10-6 year. And then he fucking lost the team midway through the 2011 season. because he got fired. I'm starting to see why you are not that good of a head coach. Oh, give him time, Rich. Time when you had a game that you literally had to win. Because guess who your next two games are? You're at New England and you've got the Colts in Berlin, Germany. And you couldn't even beat the Dolphins. Wow. You ain't what we thought you are. You ain't that good of a coach. I'm sorry. You're not. You're all right. But I'm sorry. To lose to this team, pathetic. Kirk Cousins, you are absolutely fucking done. You need to retire. You suck. Stop robbing the Falcons money. Hell, they shouldn't even have to pay you for fucking yesterday. That's how bad you were. I'm mad at myself that I didn't switch to the Eagles. But I tried to tell my cousin, I'm like, we should switch. Nope. But I should have just made my own call. So, I'll hold the L for Survivor. But Zach Robinson, I don't know how you can mess up an offense with Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney. I've never seen an offensive coordinator mess up an offense that's pretty damn talented like it is this one. You are absolutely horrible as an OC. I'm sorry. What fucking game were you calling yesterday? That was shit, bro. Now, I'm not going to talk about Miami. They're irrelevant to me. Let's go to the Giants-Eagles briefly. This is the last game I think I'm going to touch today because I've been going on a tangent today. I'm going to be real, actually. Cam Scatterbo, that sucks. That injury, hope you get well, dude, because you were balling before that injury, and I did not look good. I couldn't even watch it because, no, I'm not, no, I can't watch stuff like that. I don't think anybody can watch stuff like that. But the Eagles, Saquon Barkley, I knew this was a get-back spot for them. I knew it was. Because I knew that Saquon was not going to let his former team sweep them this year. And they came out and were like, yep, let's give this team the business. Let's give little brother in the division the business. And that's exactly what they did. Now, Jackson Dart, I think he's going to be fine in this league. He's going to be fine. All right? They're going to have to get him another receiver and some pieces, but they'll be okay. But the Eagles, for the moment, yeah, I knew this was going to be a win that they were going to take care of business. Although they have a tough schedule off the bye, too, with the Packers on Monday night and then the Lions after that. So, you guys and that schedule, they needed this win. And good for them that they got right. So, again, I don't want to spend too much because, again, the Giants are kind of like done. And I think Dayball is likely gone after this year. But sucks for Cam Scatterbo. That dude was balling. Sucks that his season ends. But the Eagles, you knew this was a get-right spot. That's why I didn't want to spend too much time on this. Denver, Dallas, I'm not even going to spend much time on this either. Dallas, Matt Eberflus, worst defensive coordinator in the league. That dude never blitzes. And I don't know when he ever will bring pressure, but when it seems to happen, it never works because Bo Nix can find an open read on the Rocky Mountains to go, hey, I'm open. Gotcha. He could see a guy open through the Rocky Mountains. That's how wide open Dallas' defense is. And I know they're dealing with injuries in the back end. This is the worst. And I thought the Cowboys' defense with Monty Kiffin in 2013 was worse. And I thought Mike Nolan was worse. This is bad. I mean, man, you could throw any one of them defenses from those 3 years of the Cowboys being the worst. Hell, I wouldn't even know which one to pick. They're all that bad. They're all the same. I mean, oh my God. They look like shit. You guys are nothing. Jerry Jones really trying to get a name to save this defense because he knows he fucked up. Well, Jerry, guess what? That ain't going to fix all your problems. Because Brian Schottenheimer, I know he's Marty's kid. He's an all right coach. He's an all right coach. Now, you guys need to get Jerry Jones to realize he's never going to get the lion's share of the credit without Jimmy Johnson. Those days are over. Give it up, Jerry. You need to sell the team. You won't do it because your pride and ego won't let you say. But you know what? The Dallas Cowboys are the Raiders of the NFC. Jerry Jones will never win a title or championship till he's dead. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's true. He's never going to win. He's never going to win. Because he's just so hell-bent on getting the lion's share of credit because Jimmy Johnson took it away from him. And Jimmy deserves credit. But, Jerry, you have had multiple opportunities to be a big part of that, and you failed time after time after time again. I'm done talking about the Cowboys. They're irrelevant to me, and my uncle could talk to me on the side about it after. I don't care. They're so awful. And he knew they were going to be shit going into the year, especially after Parsons got traded. So I'm not even surprised. Now my cousin, on the other hand, he's probably going to give me shit. I don't care. Both my cousins might give me shit for it, but anyway, yeah, guys, not really a lot of game talk, but I figured, you know what? I have some thoughts that I wanted to get off, though. But anyway, I am going to see you guys on Thursday where we will break down NFL Week 9 picks, Week 10 of college football. We will have guarantees. I'm still going to do Survivor picks because, A, I want to give it to you for the people, and then if I lose based off a pick I would have liked, then I won't do Survivor anymore. But we're going to do that. We're going to do guarantees. We will have picks. The usual, that'll be Thursday. And then don't forget next week. Next Tuesday will be the show following the trade deadline, and then we're back on schedule next Thursday with your typical Monday and Thursday episodes. You can also follow me at Loungetime Pod on X. I will answer questions that you will have for the show. I will answer them, trust me. You can also follow us on Rumble. We just got the episode for Thursday posted now. I'm sorry I was a little delayed. I had some stuff over the weekend to do. And then we will get this episode right up and rolling on Rumble. You can also hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, that like button, so that way you guys can get all the latest content update on YouTube. This is our main platform that we're doing Lounge Time on. Without you guys, we can't grow the show. So we're going to need you guys to, boost the algorithm and get this out there for people to know that this is a great football podcast to do. And we're just getting right into the good stuff, man. November, December, we're separating contenders from pretenders. And there's going to be a lot of good content on its way. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in last time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys on Thursday to talk Week 10 college football and Week 9 NFL. Have a great Monday night. I'll see you guys on Thursday.